I got raped in the theater. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Chauvinism.
Hi guys, and welcome to Chauvinism, where every Monday we do a discussion topic, and every Thursday there's some comedy and characters. A few of you have asked me to talk a little more about my acting experiences and tell stories from the acting world, and I thought, what a better way to start than to tell you about the time that I got raped in the theater, because that's how I like to start, with a bang. First of all, a little bit about the play that I was in. The play is called Nineveh. It's the poster behind me. The play showed at Riverside Studios, which, for those that don't know, is sort of an off-West End venue. Quite a well-known venue, not West End, but off-West End, kind of like off-Broadway, if you will, in New York. And the play is about PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. It was directed by the wonderful Eileen Conant. It was written by Julia Pascal, and I had an amazing time doing this play. Now, in this play, there's a rape scene. One of the characters basically relives his trauma and has a rape scene, and he rapes one of the characters, which was my character. The thing is, I didn't know this until mid-rehearsals, and the reason that I didn't know this is because I don't read stage directions. So for those that don't know, within a play there's stage directions. You know, the character sits down on the sofa, they look at their watch, you know, there's a big pause, they look into the other side, whatever, those stage directions. And because the rape scene was non-verbal, it's not a dialogue between the two characters, it was written as stage directions, so I just didn't read it. And somewhere in mid-rehearsals, the director, I think the director said something along the lines, well, next week we're gonna rehearse that big rape scene. And I thought, oh, there's a rape scene? And turns out, joke's on me, I was the one that was gonna get raped. Long story longer, they brought in this choreographer to direct this rape scene, which is quite a physical scene, but you kind of want it to look visually, I don't know if believable is the word, but you want it to have an impact on the audience because it's quite a hardcore scene. It's quite an uncomfortable situation because basically, especially in rehearsals, it's not a short, to rehearse this, there's a guy leaning over you for quite a long time, you know, pelvis to pelvis. Okay, we were fully clothed, it wasn't like you know, it wasn't porn obviously, but it was, it's still uncomfortable. There's a guy above you breathing on you, you know, pinning your hands down, pelvis to pelvis, as I said, you know, coconuts. And what I remember basically is at the end, the choreographer basically called us in together, sort of quietly into a huddle, and he said, you know, this is quite a sensitive scene, and we're all human, and it has an effect on us, and it's okay sometimes to look at each other, you know, to give a little, you know, a little brotherly hug and say, you know, it's okay, you know. And I thought that the last thing I need right now is a hug from anyone. I don't want to be hugged because this rape scene was quite a gruesome scene. I don't want it to become romantic, you know? And the last thing I need after a guy leaning over me for about an hour, breathing in my face and you know, our pelvises colliding is some brotherly love. We're actors, it's all good, everything's fine. Please, no one hug me at this at this specific moment. And then obviously we went to perform it. It's interesting because I didn't prepare people that I was gonna get raped in this production. And friends came, you know, and they saw the play, and they were quite surprised. And a lot of them have had comments at the end, kind of going, "Oh, that was a really hardcore, gruesome play. You didn't tell us that you were, you know." They were somewhat surprised. But as an actor, I love those kind of things. Not specifically the getting raped, but you know, as an actor, you always want to be challenged to play truths above your experiences, things that you may have not experienced, but you sort of want the audience to connect to. I think a lot of people want to know how I felt. I felt like an actor doing a job. Sometimes I may have felt uncomfortable. At times, it wasn't like I went out and had trauma. Funny I should say that because it was a play about trauma, but I don't see it as a traumatic experience or something that I need to kind of get over and wash myself clean from this experience. It's an act, and that's fine, and everything's fine, and no one hug me. But the other thing that I want to talk about is sort of the communication between the actors. I do want to kind of say, because I understand why the choreographer said that sometimes, you know, it's okay to hug it out and talk about it. Even though it wasn't obviously full-on rape or anything like that, it is quite an intimate situation between two guys. And in that sense, I think what's important is the communication between them. And the reason I say this is because sometimes actors sort of get into the emotional state. So let's say he had to pin me down, sometimes it was a little hard on my wrists. Or sometimes, you know, he put his weight on me. Dialogue between the actors is very important, because how they treat each other and how they kind of work, because we have to work the scene together, you know, and he's on top of me. And so that communication, where sometimes I can say, you know, that was, you know, today you pinned me down a bit too hard. And then the next day he'd correct that. That dialogue is very important, and vice versa. He could tell me certain things, because we had to work together. Because it was choreographed, there was a certain rhythm to it. You know, there's a rhythm, there's a pattern, there's things. I had to arch my back. He had to, you know, not gonna get too, you know, visual. It was a good lesson in how to do it properly, because me and the other actor had a really good dialogue. And so there was a lot to learn from this experience. One of them is to read the stage directions, because you may be very well surprised mid-rehearsals. And the other thing is how to work, you know, with other actors, with a choreographer, how to work on a scene that's more than I was usually asked for. The whole play was quite gruesome. I had to dig quite deep down inside and go to, you know, go to places that I really had to find in me. It wasn't an easy topic, and it wasn't an easy play, and I was very happy to be a part of it. My friends will always be able to say, "You remember that time you were raped in a play?" And that's something to take with me. Alright guys, I think that's all I have to say about that, really. Now in a moment of honesty, I'll say this. I initially didn't expect this channel to be me talking about me. It wasn't something that I planned, but because it came as a request and people wanted to know about the acting world, then I thought I'd talk more about it. Please don't be shy to message me or comment or tell me that you didn't find it as interesting, or that you find it very interesting. Either way, I can take it. I'm not getting offended by it. I'm fine with everything. If you did enjoy this video, obviously like, comment, share your theater experiences if you have any, or any other experiences that you'd like to share. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome, and I hope you enjoyed it enough to subscribe and maybe follow me on this YouTube journey. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you very much for watching, and I hope I'll see you again soon, or you'll see me again soon, but we'll have this dialogue soon, hopefully.